Right. Once again, everyone, welcome to the Q&A. It's good to have the long-term members all be together for this evening. We're going to go to Kate to do the opening prayer tonight, followed by Spirit doing their philosophy. I'm just going to mute you now, Kate.
Thank you. May we close our eyes and clear our minds. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity for us to be here together this evening in the fellowship of prayer and wisdom and hope for knowledge. We thank you that we have the vessel that is used by Safena and Lavinga and who helps us gain light and knowledge into our hearts and into our lives. Hopefully, this knowledge will help us grow in a spiritual way, and that knowledge will pass down to our families and friends, and may with prayer spread out throughout the world and pass kindness and generosity to those who have a lot less than we have. May we pray for those souls now who struggle in life, and may, if it's possible, we see opportunities. May we step in where we can and help and do Christ's work. Thank you very much, Lord. Amen.
Sister, what a beautiful prayer you have just spoken. Words of sincereness, serenity. Thank you for the love that came from within. We within spirit, we come to help man to understand of eternal life. We come forward. We give knowledge to man in many ways. We come because we want you to understand the life that you live at this present is just but one life. It is part of your journey, part of your progression to go forward and understand about eternal life. There are many that do not understand that life is just not life. Life is about the learnings of the journey of life. Many will experience many experiences within their journey. Some will be good, some will be bad, some will be happy, some will be sad. But it is the journey that you take. And whichever way the journey takes you, it is a lesson. It is a lesson you must learn. You must learn not just to accept what life has placed in front of you. I will explain to you, my friends. Life sometimes will take you down a road that will lead you to the end of a cliff. Do you stop, look at the drop, and turn around? Or do you take the step forward and fall into that of the deepness? This is part of your lesson, to learn, to feel, to sense, to be aware. No, I will not step off the cliff. I want to turn around. Take a few steps back and look to see if there are other roads that I can take, where I can continue my journey. Yes, the road may be long, the hills may be steep, and there may be the ruggedness of the ground. From time to time, you may fall into a hole, but you will be able to pick yourself up, dust yourself down to continue your journey. But once you have fallen into a hole and you've brought yourself out, you look at the depth of what it was and you say, never again will I walk that road to fall into the deepness. My eyes will be kept open so I can see where I am going, what I am doing, what I am sensing, what I am feeling. Men within life, they look at their journey and sometimes they will find an area in their life that will cause them darkness because they do not see the light that was once in front of them, and they find the difficulties. They reach out in blindness, trying to find a way from out of the darkness into the light. And once they see the glimmer of light, they rush towards it, and they look again and say, no, my eyes are open. My eyes will continue to look at the light and away from dark. There will be many with the light that will make their journey and turn to faith, faith in the Father God. But they will use many religions. Some may be of the Sikh, the Hindu, the Muslim, the Catholic, the Christian, the Greek. There are many gods within the realms, but there is one main God. That is the Christ Himself, the Father God. And this is why I bring these words to you. Your journey of life, look at it. Look at the light. Aim towards the light. Do not be swayed to go into darkness. Always think of helping others within life, showing love, showing compassion, helping each other. Do not feel that one that is beneath you is not the same as you. They are going through the difficulties that you have not endured. They need your guidance. They need you to pull them out, bring them into the light, and you walk on the side of each other, and you become brothers and sisters of the soul. So, my child, the prayer that you spoke, it showed how much compassion was given within your world, how much serenity was placed within the world, how much love came from your heart. A simple prayer is the most important prayer. When man has to read of that of a book to say a prayer. It has no meaning when they have to look upon your computer, upon your phone. The prayer will have no meaning. So I say to you, thank you for hearing and listening to the words of prayer, but listening to my words as I speak in love to each and every one. Now it is time to hand over to our beautiful sister, Savannah, who has been waiting to come to speak to you, because she is one that is feeling your love, feeling your peace within.
Hello, my friends. It is lovely to be here once again, able to come and speak to you. I wish to thank our brother, Lavinda, for those beautiful words. I hope that each and every one of you listen very carefully to the words that were spoken. I hope that you felt the love that was given from and our sister. You're my child. I heard you say, as you were a child, and they asked you to open in prayer, you did it in silence because you did not want others to hear you. Does not matter whether man hears your prayer, as long as we in spirit, as long as the Father God and those of the elders will be able to hear your prayer. We have watched over each and every one of you, and we have seen what life has brought around you. Yes, you understood the words from that of Lavinda, because here in this direction you've endured, you've enjoyed the darkness, you've endured falling into the pit, but you've enjoyed coming out of the pit into the light and going forward. As you grow within life, you become older, you become wiser, and you go forward, and you understand more about life, and you learn more about yourself and the spirit within you. So you see, my children, the prayer was very important. That started the philosophy. Now I'm here to ask you to ask up your questions, please.
Good evening, sister.
Hello, my brother. Lovely to hear your voice once again.
Thank you. May I have your permission for others to ask questions to you this evening?
Yes, my brother. It is always a pleasure and an honor to speak to men within the group and hear the questions. God bless you.
Bless you. First person on the list today is Joe. I'm just going to mute you, Joe. There you
Okay.
go.
Hello, Sister Stefana.
Hello, my dear. It has been a while since I have heard your voice, and it is always a pleasure and an honor to hear the words that come from you. What is your question, please, my dear?
Right, I have painting on the wall, and it's of two vases. In the corner, I can see a bearded man, and when I stare at it, his face seems to move and his lips are moving. Am I imagining that, or is that happening?
No, my child, you do not imagine of that. Spirit is within your home, and spirit can place their energies in many different objects or places for you to see. I will explain to you. The face that you see is that of an elder that is visiting you, and you have been calling to spirit, asking asking for the help, asking for the guidance. But you are an inquisitor, and because you are a inquisitor, you question much of what is brought before you. So you want answers, you understand.
Yes.
You speak to spirit. Spirit is speaking to you. You see the movements of the lips. You see the movements of the eyes. You see that of the face that slightly turns. That is because they have come close to you, and you will be given your answers directly towards you by what you are sensing, what you are feeling at that particular time. The gentleman of the elder that has come before you will come from time to time. He will not be placed there all of the time. So you will look in that direction. I do not see it. Then you will look again, and you understand.
Yes.
Your answers will be given to you, my dear. Do not worry. Do not fear. Lift your heart. Raise your eyes towards that of the sun, and you will see the light that will be brought towards you and bringing the goodness and the joy that you are asking for. You understand?
Yes. Thank you.
God bless you, my child.
All right. The next person on the list is Kate. I'm just going to mute you, Kate.
Good evening, Sister Safena. How are you?
Hello, my dear. I am very well now that I have heard your beautiful voice. It has got a spring within it this eventide. I know that the healing angels have been looking after you. They have been taking great care of you. And I know this, my child. I have watched you. You have spent much time within your room of rest. You have been depleted of energies, but that is only because that of the healing angels was replenishing your body, taking away that of the darkness of the ailments placed upon you, and restoring you with newness of energies. You understand?
I certainly do.
You see, my child, you are one that we watch over. Anyone that comes before us in spirit and calls upon us, we are willing to help. We watch over. You do not see, you do not hear us, but we are there, constantly taking care. Now, what is your question, please, my dear?
My question is, I've been looking back through to the early days of spiritualism, not this century, not the last century, the previous one. And at that time, when they first discovered it, there was a huge amount of effort put from the human side to try to make contact with spirit. And I presume there was just as much effort, if not more, from the spiritual side to communicate back. Now, and there were a lot of trance mediums around at that time, whether they be true or false. And people were taking spiritualism a lot more seriously than they do today. And they were putting more effort into it and more searching for knowledge that does not seem to go on today at all. And I wondered how you felt at that side, how much easier or harder it is to make communication with us when there's no genuine effort put into trying to converse with you.
My child, I like the question that you have just asked. I will tell you, from that of many centuries past. We in the realms of spirit, we have been working with men and women within life, and they were more sensitive to the energies that was placed around them from the realms of spirit. You would many times have those of your soothsayers who would say, beware the eyes of March. You would have those that was the high priest and priestesses who would connect and link with spirit and would be able to connect and link with men at the same time. Through the periods of time, we have seen that of many that have called to spirit. And let me explain to you. Many will say, this all came about with the Fox sisters. It did not. It was long before. But many was classed as witches, as those that was healers. They too was classed as witches. But you see what has happened over the period of time. Man has lost its way in the understanding of the true connection. You have heard many times myself speak through the vessel and say, you must find yourself within. Find yourself. Get to know yourself inside out. Accept the good, accept the bad, but learn to go into your deepness of meditation. We see that man says, we go into meditation. They do not go at all into meditation. It is relaxation. But over the periods of time, remember, you have seen many wars that have come upon your earth. And it was in the period of time that many of those that was gifted and was chosen came forward to help those that survived the wars to understand the truth of eternal life. And men would embrace the messages from their loved ones, their sons, their daughters, their mothers, their fathers, their aunties, their uncles, their grands. This was given, and they was very pleased to receive that message. So you see, my child, connecting with spirit in days gone by, a medium as you call them, they was the mediator between the two worlds, who would say, your son, he has come to you. He wants you to know he watches over you. He has come to reassure you that although the body is no more, is in the spirit, is living and moving forward. And one day you will meet up together. And they come to bring reassurance. But in your modern life today, they do not know how to connect with us in spirit. You see, there are many ways that we in spirit are willing to help and connect with men. It is not always what we have heard many times. They say they walk through the door, they walk through the wall, they stand and they speak. No, it isn't the way that we come. You may see us as we stand within the door itself and we step forward. You may see us against the wall and we move forward. We can work in many ways with men, by that of sense, by that of feeling, by that of sight, by that of thought, by that of words. But man does not want to connect. They think they have the answers. They think they've got the know-it-all. They have not yet even begun to find the step upon the ladder to understand the fullness of truth of spirit. Please forgive me, my child, but you see, I come through this vessel, and all I want for man to understand is, if only they could find themselves within, if only they could learn to connect with what you call the guide that is grown with them, how they can connect together, converse together to link with the realms of spirit. There will be many truths that will be brought forward, but at this moment, man has lost its way. It is not looking towards that of the old ways of spiritualism. It's looking to what they call the modern way. But we look at what is being brought forward, and all we see is that of the fortune tellers, like the gypsies at the seaside, that will tell you whether or not you are coming into money, if you want to have a child, if you was to get married, if you was to find a job. This isn't the way that we in spirit work. We work in a way to bring reassurance, upliftment, and love, to bring hope and comfort to all within life. You understand?
Yes, yes, I do.
My child, I thank you so much for asking of the question. Please forgive my continuation of speaking the way that I did. But you asked of the question, you got of your answer. Is there anything else you would like to ask of me, please?
Yes, yes, please. My other question is, when you do have accomplished mediums and you do have accomplished vessels like you are using this vessel this evening, when they transition, does that knowledge stay within them, and does it stay within their sort of core consciousness so that they don't lose that information?
Yes, my child. Everything that we bring to that of the vessels within life stays with them and continues into the realms of spirit with them. It helps them to go forward because they have greater knowledge of the new life before others. And because of this, they can progress quickly in the realms of spirit and go to that of the different sphere. But you see, my child, let me explain to you. We in spirit, like myself, I chose up the vessel many years before he came to do the work of spirit. And that is what we do. And depending, and I say depending on the vessel, to how deep they go, to the deepness within themselves, we can become stronger. We can get closer. That is why you will see these words I bring to you. A medium who's a mediator between the two worlds. Then you will see that of those that go deep into what runs like the vessel, because we are able to come close. We are able to take control. We are able then to take control of the voice to bring the words to men. But then you have those that are willing to go even deeper and allow spirit to take control and take over. That is what you call transfiguration.
Right.
Many years ago, there was many mediums that were very special, that you would call that of the transfiguration, who would go even deeper to materialization and put total trust into spirit for us to bring the spirit within out for man to see. And the spirit within would have a great knowledge and would share to man, and man would see and hear all that was placed before them. Today, we in the realms of spirit, we have to take a step back. We want to do more. We want to give more. We want to show more. We want to help man. But man is holding back because of fear, because they do not see, they do not hear, they do not feel. You understand?
Yes, I do. I do. It's very
See, my
shallow.
child, let me say this to you. When the day of your transition into spirit comes, look at all the knowledge you have gained over the years of your life that has helped you to progress. You may say, I have not progressed very far, but you have gained great knowledge, and that is stored within you, and that knowledge will go forward with you and help you. So you will progress quickly from that of first of all going into the realms, into that of a different sphere. You understand?
Yes, yes, I do. Thank you.
God bless you, my child.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. The next person on the list is Pauline. Just going to mute you, Pauline.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. Lovely to see your beautiful smile once again and hear your beautiful voice. What is your question, my dear?
I was going to ask, how is your main guide chosen to be, how are they chosen to be with you for life?
That is very simple, my dear. As soon as you are born within the world, your guide is born with you. You have heard man speak many times that as a human being, you are shown your journey within life before you are born within the womb of life. You understand?
Yeah.
And what happens? Those in the realms of spirit, they have gained great knowledge by going to the school of learning. They learn so much and they want to share with man within life to help them to understand about eternal life. So what they do is they are shown, like you would yourself within life, a picture. You are shown a picture of what is to be within life, and you sense of their energies, and you say, I am willing to use that vessel if they are willing to allow me to do so. Then we have to go before the elders. And as we go before the elders, we speak of ones that we want to use of a vessel. They are the ones that understand more than we do within spirit. And they know what the journey of that being is to be. And they see what they have to go through. We are then given the task to help them to go through life, to change their direction, direction, but we can only guide. We cannot live your life for you. So when you are born to the world, we in spirit, we the guide, we are attached towards you. As you grow, we grow. And as we grow at the sight of you, we are learning more about you. We are learning more about the energies and how things are working, which directions. There is so much we place before man, but man does not always sense, man does not always feel, and they lose their way. And we have to try so hard, and it is not easy to bring you back into the path of the feelings and understandings of the spirit guide that is with you. You understand?
Yeah.
You see, my child, before you was born, your guide saw the goodness within you, saw the beauty of your heart, saw the difficulties that would be placed before you, and wanted you to let them come forward to work with you, to give you the guidance, to take you away from the darkness to the light, place you on the road so that you can find the joys within life. We try so many times to take away the darkness of your memories, but we cannot wipe your memories, not until you come into the realms of spirit. You understand?
Yes, I do. Yes.
God bless you, my child.
Thank you for that.
You have another question, my dear?
Yes, I have. This is just something that's been bothering me lately. It's to do with so many young children here on Earth are wanting to change their gender, and I find this a bit concerning. I'm just wondering, is this a passing phase for them, or is this all part of the plan
My child, it is not part of the plan.
No.
Let me explain something to you. Today, in the modern world, man has lost itself. It does not know whether it wants to be man, whether it wants to be woman. It does not know whether it wants to be that of a human being or that of an animal. You have certain words that you call, and many of these words are phases that they will go through. Let me tell you, no matter what man the young of today may say, when you are put into the womb of life, you are that of a child, of a boy or a girl. When you are born into the world, you are that of a boy or a girl. Yes, there are many that have that within themselves that is confused over the gender. They are not sure whether they want to be of a boy or a girl, and they try to change what you call the gender. But no matter what they change, the one thing that they can never change and will never change, they are born boy, girl, to become man or woman. That cannot be altered, even if in time your governments decide to change the laws to fit within their thinking. They will always be as what they were when they were placed in the womb of life. You understand?
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
My child, you sounded a little disappointed in the answer that was given. but I'm going to explain to you. You are of a modern way, and you are trying to understand of the ways of the young of today. But I would tell you, they may have their own thoughts. They may have these vibrations that are around them to say this, that, the other, but you cannot change what the seed is born within. You understand?
Yes, yes, I do. As I do find it a bit concerning because it seems to be, sort of very prominent at the moment.
My child, they will find themselves in time. And once they do, they'll try once again to go backwards in life and call it a modern way. It has always been the way of man to try to place a newness that they cannot put in front. You understand?
Yes, I do, yeah.
God bless you, my dear.
Bless you, thank you.
Right, the next person on the list, I think it'll be Elaine. Do you have any questions, Elaine?
Yeah. Good evening, Sister Safena.
Hello, my dear. Lovely to hear your voice, but you are naughty. You have coming late.
I
How
have.
dare you coming late?
I'm very sorry.
I want you to write a letter of apology to Spirit, and do not forget to lick the stamp.
Okay,
God
Safena.
bless you, my child. What is your question, please?
Well, my question is, and it started when you were answering Kate's questions, and I just feel like I'm having some conditions put on me. Am I imagining this?
No, you are not. You see, my child, we in spirit, we have found a way to connect with you. You do not understand how we are connecting, so it's bringing a little confusion to you. We are beginning slowly but surely to open your senses so that you can feel, so that you are feeling the vibrations and you are beginning to link in to another being's conversation, so you are able to sense what words are being spoken is what you have already felt within yourself. You understand?
Yes, I do, Safena. Thank you for that.
See, my child, you do not understand this, but I will tell you. You have heard the words, God works in mysterious ways and his wonders he does perform. God knows who he chooses, and when he chooses one that he wants a spirit to work upon, he understands the being inside out, upside down, and knows them fully. So you see, they are helping you to progress slowly. But as you are progressing, you are doubting and questioning, which is part of your lesson. This is how you begin. So when you was listening to the question that was asked of the beautiful lady previous, you were sensing, you were feeling, you was being made aware. You understand?
I do, Safena. Thank you for that.
You continue, my dear. Continue. This is what we want from you, because once you are fully opened up to the senses of the vibrations, we can come stronger then towards you and open you more, and you will see this come in a period of time. You understand?
Yes, thank you so much.
What is your question now, my dear?
So my next question is, it's, the weather's getting warmer, we're in spring now, and, there's just more vitality, everything's growing, and you just feel a bit more alive and awake with the energies of springtime. And although I do like other seasons, there's lots to like about the other seasons in the year as well. But with winter time, it's very easy to, you're more tired, you don't have the daylight. And I was just wondering if is there any way, how can you make the most of the energies in the winter time when the days are shorter? Or is that just nonsense?
No, it is not nonsense, my dear. You have just answered your own question by speaking of the seasons. You say you look at the spring, you see of the sun, you feel of the energies that have changed. You look at the grass that grows, you see the beauty of the flowers that are coming to bloom. You then feel the vibrations of those energies, which makes you stronger within yourself and more contented with the beauty of life that is before you. And then you see of the summer that brings that of the warmth of the sun, and everyone feels at peace within themselves, and they relax within their energies, and they find the warmth of the energies of the sun builds the energies within the body. You can take this then with you into the autumn. But the trouble is with men. They do not realize what they have done is during the period of the spring, the period of the summer. They have wasted many of their energies that were building up within them, and they start to feel depleted. They feel that of a heaviness of that of the autumn come upon. Instead of looking at the grass that has gone into the deepness of the green, where the flowers may have died, but the bulbs within the ground, they are filling themselves with a newness, preparing themselves, ready for the spring once again. They do not look at the trees where that of the leaves that have turned to the brown and ready to fall upon the ground. And the trees, the roots are growing strong, and they are preparing for once the spring comes again. Then when it comes to that of the winter, and you see of that of the fog, you see that of the snow, you see that of the frost. This is because the energies of the earth, this is because they have come to a period of time of sleep. They are relaxing. So that is why the winter man wants to sit at the fire, does not want to see the frost, does not want to see the trees that have no buds. They want to feel the comfort within their homes. You see, my child, man should learn how to absorb all the energies of the spring and the summer and use it wisely so they go through the autumn and the winter, waiting for the spring once again. You understand?
I do. So would you say a lot of it is like your mindset and how you look upon it? Like you're saying about like that would be a part of it. You're saying about the trees that there's, they're getting ready to regenerate and everything for the spring, just having maybe a different outlook on
That
it
is true,
and
my
appreciation.
child. You see, you've got to remember, man is life, and everything around you is life. The grass upon the ground, the trees and the flowers, they are life. So you see, they learn that once it is of that of the autumn, they keep the energies of the spring and the summer, and they know that now they have to use their energies to help them to grow what man cannot see, to prepare for that of the winter, where they rest for their period of time, ready to bring a newness within the spring, to bring the joys once again to man, you understand?
I do, Svenna. Thank you for that beautiful answer.
You are welcome, my child. Do you have another question you wish to ask?
I've asked two just now, so I'll wait until my turn next time, but thank you.
You are welcome, my dear. Please forgive. You see, I am answering and speaking to you. I am enjoying being able to speak open of the joys and the love. And I forgot that you had already asked of your two questions. Forgive me.
That's okay, Svenna. Bless you.
Bless you, my child.
Does anyone want to be added on the list if they can put their hand up now? Joe and Pauline and Elaine. Sister, may I ask a question, please?
Only the one. You may, my brother.
I found that when people have faith in any religion or anything, sometimes it's the way of having all the answers given to them so they don't have to think about the big things, so they can feel comfortable inside. And sometimes I've noticed that people in the spiritualist churches and other places have higher expectations with spirit and mediums. So I just want to say, is it actually possible for spirit to make mistakes?
Of course, brother. This is part of our lessons. You see, let me explain to you. You have just spoken of men that turns towards religion, and you say that they look for the comforts within. Yes, they do, but their faith is always tested. So they have to find the feelings of the truth within themselves. You then spoke and said that man within life wants higher expectations of those of mediums into that of connecting with spirit. So they should, because you see, we look at man today and they do not look how to work and connect with spirit. And man is looking and seeing. We see this, we see it all, but is it true? Are they fake? Are they false? Is there a realms beyond? Yes, there certainly is. But you see, they have to work towards it. It is not easy. It is never easy. Nothing in life is easy, even though you look at men that have the goodness. It is not easy for them. They have that badness within their lives in different ways. So you see, my child, when you ask them the question, always expect more. You want that, a proof and truth to be given to you. And the only way that can be given is by being given first of all to understand the one that has been chosen to link with spirit is truly linking, that you are given the evidence. Now I come back to the question you spoke of right at the very end. Yes, we do make mistakes, very, very rare, but we do make mistakes because you see, this is part of our progression. We know all, we see all, we feel all. But you have to remember, we are but a living thought, and sometimes too much that is placed upon that of the spirit energies can sometimes get lost. So many times, I will say, confusion can come within. And yes, mistakes can be because also mistakes can be made. But you have to remember, we have to rectify it straight away. You understand?
Yes, but back to the expectations. Some people who don't really link with spirit they'll latch on and look at the videos of high reputable mediums. Then they'll use the buzzwords and the forefront on what makes that medium special. And then they use that to advance themselves into getting praise from people. Whereas the fledglings that wish to develop slow, they don't get given a chance to demonstrate their spiritual gifts or to nurture them because of the people that stealing, basically plagiarizing the personality and individuality of reputable mediums that do work true to spirit.
I understand what you are saying, my brother. I truly do understand what you are saying. You see, that has always been the case with man. What they do not know, they try to take from those that do, and then they start to speak of what they have heard, not what they have learned. This is not fair, because you see, man within life, unfortunately, many are vulnerable because they do not understand of the truth of the connection of spirit. They listen to what others are saying. And if you listen carefully, brother, I will tell you this. If you was to speak words of truth, others will listen to your words, repeat them, but they will also exaggerate upon your words. And because of this, others will say, but that sounds feasible. That sounds very true. That sounds very good. I can understand it. But they cannot, because you see, they are not being taught in the right way of understanding what we in spirit are bringing. But those that you call within life of the one that is progressing slowly, they are the ones that are true to spirit and will be recognized by spirit for sharing with love the knowledge that they have received from spirit, not from man. And those that have taken from you, they will have to repent when they come to the realms of spirit, and they will be placed into a school of learning, learning humility, learning how to ask for forgiveness, asking for that of spirit to teach them the ways of truth. You understand?
Yes, thank you, sister.
My brother, please, I have to say this, and I say it many times to you. You are being chosen. You have been chosen. Your direction within life, there are areas that you will progress very quickly upon, and there are areas that you will slowly gain, but you will eventually come to that of the fullness of truth of spirit, and you will feel it within yourself, because your inner spirit will be full of all that is being given. You understand?
Yes, sister, thank you.
God bless you.
Bless you. The next person on the list is Joe. Just going to mute you, Joe.
Hello again.
Hello, my dear. What is your question? And please do not ask me to tell you what time you are setting out tomorrow to make your journey.
Oh dear. You know everything, don't you, Safena?
Bless you, my dear. God bless you, my child.
No, what I'd like to know is, could you please give me some more spiritual guidance, please?
My child, the spiritual guidance I will give to you is important. You see, your journey within life, you say I am walking my life. I am taking day by day. And I go, and I see, I sense, I feel of where I want to be, whom I want to be with. But then you have your period of time when you want to isolate, be on your own, to find your inner peace within yourself. The spiritual guidance I will say to you is this. Spiritually, my child, you are progressing very, very well. We are happy with the journey that you are taking. Your eyes are opening. You are sensing. Your spirit within is aware of much. And your journey of life at this moment of time, it is a pleasurable, a pleasurable journey, and it is one you are enjoying. But you have learned, trust no man, go with man, eat and drink with man, be merry with man, but you must not trust, you understand?
Yes.
You see, my child, there is one around you that is trying to get close to you. You have already started to put the barriers up. Keep them up. Do not let them down in this direction. They are not what they seem to be. You understand?
Yes.
God bless you, my child.
Thank you. Bless you.
Yeah, but the second question, Joe.
Oh, no, sorry. No.
Okay. Right, the next person on the list is Pauline. There you go.
Hello again.
Oh, oh my dear, that was an effort for you to say hello again. My child, it is lovely always to hear your voice and see that beautiful smile. What is your question, please?
I was wondering, when a priest or a higher member of the clergy perhaps have been preaching to their congregation that it's only those that will go to heaven. Morally, he thinks he's right to preach this. So once he's passed a spirit and then shown the reality, would there be confusion and he would need or she would need healing from the emotions felt and also for the wrong that he would have realised that he'd given to others?
My child, let me explain to you. You talk of your priests. You talk of the Pope and the Cardinal. All of those. Please forgive as I say these words towards you. Their faith to the Father God is strong, but they are brainwashed with words that are brought from within the book. That is a book that was written by man and was written over the centuries, you understand?
Yeah.
So therefore, within themselves, they believe that what they are doing is for the goodness of man. That is to help them to understand. But they do not realize they have not connected with that of the Father God. They have not connected with the elders. They have not connected with that of spirit. They have only connected with their inner thoughts. And their thoughts are not always of the goodness, you understand. So
Yeah.
once they come into the realms of spirit, they have their eyes open and they get to shock because they are shown of the truth. Many of them break down with the tears. Their hearts become heavy and they call them to the Father God asking for their forgiveness and the sins that they have placed within the thoughts of man within life. You understand? They do not get punished by that of the elders. They have to repent within themselves. They are the ones that put the pain upon themselves because they know they have failed. You understand?
Yes, yes, I do, yeah.
So you see, my child, God works in ways that man yet does not understand. We do wish that all men would learn to realize there is so much more to understand about your new journey within life. We'd love to share it with you, but we can only give a certain amount of information at this moment of time. Because you see, if everything was placed before you, there would be many that would be rushing from the material life and wanting to go into the newness of the spirit. But you all have to learn to progress in the way of life. You understand?
Yes, I do, yes.
You have another question, my dear.
Well, if I may have some spiritual guidance, if that's possible, please.
No, it is not possible. Yes, it is, my dear. Please, I jest with you.
Yeah.
Spiritual guidance, my dear. Open thine eyes that I may see. First and foremost, we understand the conditions of your material eyes. These are starting to improve slowly. It will take time, but you will see the progression that will take place. And as your eyes begin to become stronger, as they start to open wide, you will see so much more that Spirit have placed within front of you. We are also to open the mind to that of what you call your third eye, where you will be given great knowledge from Spirit through that of the thought waves. You will lay within the room of rest, and you will find yourself hearing the words of Spirit speak to you through the thought waves, and you through the thought waves will be asking questions of them. You are to progress very well within your material and your spiritual journey. You understand, my dear?
Yes, I do. That's nice. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person on the list is Elaine. Just going to mute you, Elaine.
Thank you. Hello again, Svenna.
Is it you again?
It is.
Child, it's always an honor to hear your voice. What
And
is your
yours.
question, please, my dear?
So my question is, well, it was almost a year ago, and I was doing a group relaxation, and then Lavinda came and spoke to us all, and gave some beautiful words, and also brought forward a helper for me, and spoke about an experience, and what this helper was going to help me have a deeper understanding with my horse. Yeah, and I feel like I've not really, not achieved, maybe the wrong word, but I feel like maybe that hasn't happened, and I was just wondering if you have any guidance about it. And I just think about it sometimes.
Of course you must, my dear, but I will explain to you. You say that you was given knowledge of an experience to be shown towards you or to send.
Sorry, it was to sense. So what my recollection of it was this Native American helper, and it was about looking into my horse's eyes, and I wasn't to let my own thoughts get in the way, and it was to have a deeper connection or deeper understanding with the horse.
And that took place. That took place.
Okay.
It happened, my child, because you stood before that of the creature. You looked into the eyes, and the eyes of the creature looked into yours, just for a short period of time, and the connection came very strong to the two of you, a bond that came upon the two of you. The creature within life understood all that you was doing for it. It knew that you was giving healing upon it. But you see, you have to remember, the creature cannot speak through the voice. It can only talk to you through that of its actions, and the actions were showing the closeness towards you, would place its head very close to yours, put its head upon your shoulder. It would obey your voice. The connection has already taken place, and you have learned through this that you can sense, that you can feel the vibrations, so that when you now place your hands upon any creature, you will sense, first of all, the calmness placed upon them. You will then feel their love that will be given towards you through a turn of a head, through that of the eyes that will look upon you, and they will receive the healing, the love that you are giving to them. You understand?
I do. I just find it hard to kind of in the moment or like to go, oh yes, that 100% happened. Do you know, I'm just not.
You
I
must
just doubt
always
it.
question. My dear, you must always question. Do not just accept. You see, he that seeks shall find, and you are seeking. So you are going to question. But when you find, and this will happen to you, my dear, it'll be like awakening within the mind. All of a sudden you say, you know, I have just realized what I have done, what I have just been doing. It's just as though someone has walked into a dark room and switched on the lights, you understand?
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, thank you, Safena. And that kind of answers my second question that I was going to ask you about animal communication, because animals can't speak our language and we can't speak theirs. Because would I be right in believing that that's spirit that actually, when people do like animal, I'm going to call it animal chat, or like or say like do an animal reading and give you all this information, is that'll be spirit and their helpers giving them that, if it's true.
What it is, my child, I understand where you are coming from, and sometimes we in spirit have to laugh, because you see, man cannot speak to an animal in the same way as it can speak to that of man, and an animal cannot speak to man as it can speak and communicate with their own kinds. So they have to do it by that of deeds, of actions. So you see, when those that say we converse with the animals, we speak to them and they speak to us, what they are sensing the energies from that of the creature and the creature is sending either love towards them or the energies of sadness towards them, or turning towards them and nipping at them, or licking at their face, or placing their bodies across yours. This is all part of communication with spirit, and man has to learn to understand what the creature is speaking of by using their senses. You understand?
I do. No, it's just because sometimes you hear things. I've heard things like people saying that, oh, the horse doesn't like its name and things like that. But so, yeah. So, no, thank you for that.
Let me tell you, my dear, a horse does not matter what name it is called. It's what tone of voice it is spoken at. If a voice shouts a name, and it is done so loud, the horse will close its ears. But if a name is called, and it feels a vibration of love within it, it will respond just like all creatures, because the name of a cat, a dog, a horse, a pig, it has no meaning to them. You understand?
I do. Thank you for that, Stefano.
You're welcome, my child.
Yes, you. Right. I'm just going to ask, do you have any last questions, Kate?
No, thank you.
Right. Thank you. That's everyone now, sister, for the evening. If you would like to do the closing philosophy, return the vessel.
My brother, my children of the group, thank you. Thank you. We may deceive and tie, be of a short, small group, but it is your love that I have received, and it's your energies of your art that is shared with the questions you have asked. I hope I have not failed you in any way, shape, or form. My duty is to use the vessel to speak to man that seeks the knowledge of truth, and that I will continue to do so for as long as I am allowed to do so. I come and I work with the vessel. I am honored. I am privileged. I look at man within life and I see those who say, I can do this better than he can. Well, I can tell you this. I have seen those that say they can, but they cannot. I heard the words of our brother speaking of misleading through that of falseness. We cannot change the minds of men, but man can change their minds to what they see, what they hear, and what they feel. So I leave those words with you and say God bless to each and every one till I get to speak once again to you, as I hand you back now to our brother, who is full of love and full of that of peace to give to each and every one of you that is searching for that of the harmony within each other, reaching out your arms and giving a hug to one another. That is very precious. There are those today within life that will say, do not touch me. I do not want you to give me a hug. They are the ones that are losing out, because you see, a simple hug shows affection, shows love, but there are many that do not understand what true affection or love really means.
So I'm going to leave you, friends. I want to thank Lavinda and I want to thank Safena, but I want to thank each and every one of you. God bless you all.